unless I'm just being really like
cynical.
negative. Yeah.
But it's super possible. That's the thing. Like it's 100% possible. Well, welcome guys. We are live here on the Seriously Loco supporter watch along for Locomotive versus Tulsa Roughnecks. We're waiting for the stream to start, but in the meantime, we've just been talking about random soccer stuff. You guys may or may not have seen the lineups come out. I posted them on Seriously Loco. If you're following us, you may have seen it already. But little bit different lineup from Locomotive this time around. It is a I don't know, we're kind of seeing it as a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, it looks like a 4-2-3-1, and I guess obviously that's probably Mark's favored formation, but I don't know. We're thinking maybe it could be a 4-3-3.
Yeah, we've as we take a look, just so you guys can see if you're watching along, we've got the way that Locomotive have presented it is a, well, they're almost showing it as a 4-4-1, but 4-2-3-1, kind of the same
Yeah,
thing.
when the wingers get ahead.
But they're showing it as Logan's in goal, Kiffy at left back, Chiro and Becky as the center back pairing, Rebellon out on the right, Ross and Chapa there in the center of midfield, with Andrew Fox actually playing in a left wing position, definitely different than what we've seen. Omar out on the right, Seba in the 10, and Jerome Kiesewetter up top as you'd expect. Richie Ryan only fit enough for the bench. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before we got going, but this is kind of a big test for Ross in this double pivot midfield, kind of being asked to do a lot more defensively than what we've seen before.
Yeah, I think tonight we're going to see him probably in the deepest in midfield as he's ever been, and partnered with Herrera, who obviously likes to get forward and make things happen in attacking phases. It's going to be a big test for both of them as a midfield partnership if they can defend as well, because they're used to relying on Richie Ryan to kind of clean things up as the 6, but as we all know, Richie's been getting a ton of minutes, so he needs his rest.
Yeah, it is. It has been a long stretch for Richie. These last few games, he played a pretty big stretch from basically the New Mexico game all the way through till last week's game against LA Galaxy 2. So it has been a long stretch for Richie, and he gets a much deserved rest this time out. But it will be a big test for Nick Ross and Chapa there in midfield, playing kind of on their own. Seba obviously takes up that free roaming kind of role in the 10. I don't know if you guys are having better luck with ESPN Plus, but I'm not seeing the stream yet. I hope we're not missing the beginning of the game, because that would be extremely awkward.
What's going on?
But it is good. It is good to see kind of this back four though settling in as things get going. This back four is now played together three or so games in a row. Oh, and we are underway. Are we?
And that pitch is a disgrace.
Yeah, it's not looking great. So we're about 2 minutes into the game. Things have gotten underway. Locomotive in a white kit.
See, and that's what Austin brought up in the chat. Is it a white kit, or is the white balance just off? Because
no, it is a different kit.
Oh, that's a different kit. It has
is
like
a whole
it's like
different
checkerboard.
Yeah, it's got checkered, like a sublimated checker design, and it has blue stripes across the shoulders as well.
That's actually not bad.
It's actually pretty slick.
Yeah.
If I do say so. Wow. So Locomotive coming out with a surprise kit drop here
in Tulsa.
In Tulsa. Yeah, it actually, I like the look of it so far. We'll see if we can get a better look at it as Locomotive possessing things here early in the opening 3 minutes.
We look like 1860 Munich.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a very kind of Yeah, 1860 is basically the team that comes to mind with the light blue shorts and white tops.
I don't hate it.
No,
That's
not
nice.
at all. Yeah, I expected the light blues to be out because we know Tulsa wears a navy blue at home, which they are wearing today. Navy blue with like those kind of bright orange, or like
they kind of have the Shakhtar look going on.
Yeah, with a bright orange accent, but yeah, Locomotive here getting forward down the left-hand side. Omar with the chance to get on the end of one doesn't quite get there. Jerome will collect the ball though, trying to beat his man as I try to bring up Tulsa's lineup so I'm not just speaking
nice
mess.
Layoff.
And nice little back heel to Rebellon. Rebellon to deliver one into the box. Omar can't quite get there to attack, but it is all Locomotive here in the opening few minutes. Tulsa finally get the ball down and they're able to kind of get forward. Locomotive, though, Chiro playing on the halfway line, able to win that ball back and keep the pressure on for Locomotive.
Chiro's so good at just knowing when and when not to step up, and right there he gets it right, and we keep possession.
It is. There's a lot to take in here as we catch the stream midway. New jerseys for Locomotive and they're playing Locomotive, Lowry ball as we called it in the last episode. They're playing Lowry ball here in Tulsa, which is great to see them try to stamp their authority on the game here early on. The one thing that we will have to look out for, though, is similar to Tacoma, Locomotive basically taking control of the game and then not being able to really assert themselves until later on.
Yeah, exactly. For the past 3 or so games, we've seen Locomotive kind of take their foot off the gas at, pretty much the worst times that you can when you're heading into a half. So they really need to stay focused, especially on the road.
And they do have a corner here early on, flashing the stat line across the
Locomotive. Did you see that?
Loto?
They called us Locomotive in the corner. That's new. That's new.
It is Kiffy over to take the corner. We know he can deliver in a cross. We'll see if he can pick a good one here. Doesn't beat the first man, though, and it's out. One interesting note for Tulsa's lineup is that Luca Lobo, kind of the main man for Tulsa, only fit enough for the bench. So how big is that? Basically, the main danger man for Tulsa being not being fit for the starting 11 for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny to say, but it's a big deal when you're a free-scoring right back can't start. So, yeah, we'll see what they can create without him. I mean, I know nothing about the way that Tulsa plays, but it's pretty interesting to see that they can make their right back so prolific. So we'll have to see how they deal without him.
Locomotive back in possession. I'm trying to manage our multiple screens here with the chat because I was extremely negligent last week or last time out in observing the chat, and I will not make that mistake again. So I've got Tulsa up because we know Loco's team. We can tell who's who.
I will say though that one player on the Roughnecks side who does have a few goals to his name is the Portuguese Jano Silva.
Mm-hmm.
So even in the absence of Lobo, he might be able to put something on goal for them.
Absolutely. Tulsa gaining their first little bit of possession here. It looks like they're just trying to kind of get their foot on the ball right now and just get into the game.
Yeah, wow. The press is fully on for Locomotive.
Locomotive pressing out of the back. Tulsa, though, able to play through it. They're trying to get forward here through DJ Dean. He gives the ball up to Omar, though, and Omar looking for a long crossfield pass to Jerome. He finds it, but offside flag is up against Jerome. Jerome, unsurprisingly, has words for the linesman.
As he always does. It was offside, though, Jerome. Sorry.
Yeah, it looked like he did take a step just a tad early.
Nice dummy. Does he keep it in? It
looks like he just about keeps it in as our feed kind of falls behind. Anthony Legendre getting forward. Good block of the cross by Brian Rebellon, and Omar able to run away with it.
Omar's doing really well in the defensive phases so far in these opening minutes. Every time the ball's loose back there, he's coming back to collect. Good to see.
Absolutely. cross into just across the 8-minute mark into the 9th, and it is good to see as Drew Becky looks for one of those trademark long passes forward for Omar, finds him in the box. Omar with a lofted cross to the far post. We'll see if Jerome can keep it in, and does not quite keep it in. They call it out for a goal kick. Really good spot by Drew Becky out from the back. We've talked about his range of passing, and he showed it off once again there.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna see that a lot tonight, especially if Tulsa's backline continues to be somewhat disorganized.
Yeah, there's there will be opportunities again, almost like we talked about in Tacoma. This is kind of an open team we're playing, in that they are not the most organized, and definitely not the most defensive minded.
Yeah, they allow a lot of shots. They allow a lot of goals. They score a lot and put a lot on net to make up for it. But, I mean, in a league like this, you're not going to get that many results playing that way. So we'll have to see.
Logan plays a long ball looking for Omar, but it's out for a Tulsa throw. Yeah, it is interesting. And it's interesting, too, across USL, just to see how teams perform at home. Because there's so much kind of assumption made on home field advantage, and free kick here given against Drew Becky. He's not pleased with the call, as Janu Silva kind of backed into him.
Did you see that Janu Silva has the number 99? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You got to be real confident in yourself to have like a number like that. That's pretty conspicuous. I feel like
the double 9.
The double 9.
I think the other 99 I can think of is Kleber for Austin Bold.
For Austin Bold. Yeah,
I believe he wears a 99
It
as
must
well.
be a Portuguese thing, like a Lusophone speaker's thing.
Like, I am, not only am I the number 9, but I am enough number 9 for 2 number 9s.
Yeah, you're the...
As Tulsa's free kick cleared away by Locomotive, they try to create something down the right-hand side, but they're squeezed out, and it'll be a Locomotive throw. I'm trying to decipher here just exactly how Kiffy and Fox are interacting down that left-hand side, and it seemed kind of interchangeable up to this point. There's not a clear-cut, more defensive left-sided player. It almost seems like they're just kind of overlapping each other when the time calls for it.
Yeah, and you know what? With a player like Kiffy, who's so good on both sides of the ball, I think that'll be just fine. I don't know. I feel like Foxy's more keen on staying back. I think he's probably a center back by trade, is he not?
I believe he plays more center back.
Yeah, so he might want to stay back more and let Kiffy bomb on. As I think our third host is here. If you can hear the knock.
See if this attack comes out.
Omar gets in close to the near post, but it wasn't to be. I think we did earn the corner though. Hey, we are live, and Christian's here.
Yep. So you got the corner there. You got your mic set up. You can just move that out the way.
So the team just decided to drop new kits on us.
I know.
They're wearing the white kits.
Those are pretty dope.
I like them.
I want one. Get out of here.
The sky blues.
I think it is. Corner lifted in and. Locomotive, again, like.
Wow, not bad distribution
at
all.
Yeah, good distribution from Sean Lewis out of the back. Ketterer out to claim this one as he challenges with Janu Silva, and then goes down. I think he got his toe stepped on, maybe.
Yeah, it looked like must have been because there wasn't too much contact in terms of their upper body.
Yeah,
that I could tell. What happened here?
As they replay the 2 seconds prior.
That's the footage we want.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, that was weird. It didn't really look like he got stepped on. What's going on there? Logan trying to get into the shithouse 11.
Yeah. Hey, we still do need a
We
keeper.
do need a keeper.
We don't have a
You
shithouse
have to
keeper
be
yet.
a
There's no
twat
rules.
to get into the shithouse 11.
There's no rules that say you can't be from our team.
That's true. That's
True.
true. Because James will probably get in if we need a left back.
Yeah. No, we've got because up to this point we've had as far as left backs, it was what's his name from New Mexico. Nice little nutmeg there from
Yeah.
Jerome, but didn't quite come off. Foxy able to hold it in though, and he just plays a weak pass back towards Chiro. Can't really find his target. Really good tracking back from Becky to cut out that pass up towards Dean, who is running in behind. And
Yeah,
Locomotive back on the ball. I mean, there's definitely pressure here from Tulsa, but Locomotive dealing with most everything up to this point as Omar tried to hold it in, and then I'm not sure how the linesman gives that as an out because he got in Omar's way from keeping it in. So I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird
It was
one.
a bit of a strange call, but regardless, it's Tulsa ball. Yeah, we've got I don't know, Christian, if you in your travels been able to see the lineup, but we've got a little bit of a change as Richie Ryan's on the bench, and Nick Ross and Chapa are kind of forming that midfield two, rather than what we've seen the last, or what we're used to seeing of Yuma and Ryan. Yuma's still hurt, I think. He didn't make the 18. And then Richie's on the bench. So a little bit more being asked of Chapa and Ross defensively this
For
game.
sure, especially Ross. I don't think.
I have to say they are getting a little bit overrun here in these opening minutes. The thing about it is, though, is Tulsa's not really doing much when they get the ball back.
Right.
Both teams are really kind of being sloppy in possession, so we're getting away with it for now, but need to tighten up.
So we've got Versus TV in the chat. How are you watching the game? I've got ESPN Plus. Good ball through to Jerome. He's one-on-one with the keeper. Oh, and he gets taken out by the keeper. And it was a follow-up from Seba. Little bit of a coming together between Jerome Kiesewetter and Sean Lewis, the keeper. Kiesewetter tried to round him.
It was bouncing on him at second base.
Lewis.
That was one hop.
Yeah, it takes a strange hop, and he can't quite.
Is that an error?
Yeah. Sean Lewis kind of suffering in the aftermath of that. I think as he kind of lunged out, he just basically lunged his head into the legs of Jerome. So a little bit of an awkward coming together there, but it is a Locomotive corner, lofted into the center. Chiro was attacking it, couldn't quite get there. Rebellon, it's Chapa keeps it in. Back out towards the left, the cross is a poor one. Chapa again chasing the ball down. Oh no, it's Seba out there on the left. Seba working his man, trying to get to the byline, can't quite, but Kiffy's out there as well. Him and Seba combining.
Really composed from Seba to get out of that tight space.
Chapa just kind of loses his footing, and Chiro not fooled by the spin move one bit, and it was DJ Dean who tried the elaborate spin move and forgot to take the ball with him. It's not exactly
Chiro just stood his ground there.
He looked so intimidating.
as Seba now getting forward. Good ball forward from Kiffy. Contreras with a cross into the box. Can't quite find Kiesewetter, but it's actually Matt Rogers who puts it out at the far post because he didn't really know. He didn't get a call from his keeper there, I don't think. Didn't know that there was really no Locomotive player attacking at the far post, so he didn't really have to put it out behind. But he puts it out behind for a corner, and now Kiffy will be over to take this one.
I think Tulsa might be having some issues with communication back there because there've been a few phases now where a few sequences where they've looked a little bit out of sorts. But we'll see how they defend this one. I think it's our third corner of the game.
Yeah, Kiffy floats this one towards the far post. It's knotted back in by Becky. And I think it should be another corner there, cleared by Tulsa out behind.
Was that Foxy on the header?
Oh, it may have been Fox, actually. I just saw a white dude who wasn't...
He was, like, super tall.
Yeah. I was like, well...
Lighter hair. That's not Drew.
Yeah, I guess not. So Kiffy over to take this one as well. Yeah, I'm still.
Yo, when are these kits dropping?
Yeah,
'Cause
seriously.
Take
Hey,
my fucking money.
Loco Team Shop, get these white kits on, and not to mention, let's just be real, get them with customization available as
Yeah, I know. Y'all gotta get with that. People out here doing bootleg shit, like I can't.
well. The Piratas corner comes in, and it was. I think that was Becky actually challenging for that one. Now
That's a
Chiro
foul.
goes through the back of Malin Roberts, and it was Jeanu Silva all the way back to to challenge for that one, and it will be a Tulsa free kick. Intriguing opening, just shy of 20 minutes, in that Locomotive have essentially controlled the game and haven't allowed a real chance so far for the home team. So kind of the typical away performance that we've come to expect from Locomotive.
Yeah, I mean, they like you said, there haven't been any chances really for Tulsa. We've had the lion's share of the chances in our attacking third, but possession needs to be a little bit better. I can't imagine Mark's too pleased with how we're playing, especially in midfield.
Yeah, that is it is certainly like, it's a strange one, because with this midfield you almost expect it to not be quite as good as Richie and Yuma. We raved last week about kind of how that midfield three partnership shaped up of Nick Ross, Chapa, and Richie Ryan. But Richie was such a integral part of that it's kind of hard to imagine why he wouldn't be missed. Just how integral he's been to our midfield so far this season. If he's not in there, it is going to be noticeable.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's really our only natural six. I mean, the real defensive-minded midfielder who's going to just, clean things up and shield the back line. So to have two kind of 8 players as the double pivot is a risk on Mark's part, but I understand why he's taking it.
Chapa with a good little move there to earn the free kick, and Locomotive just able to relieve a little bit of the pressure that Tulsa was putting on. Seba tries a little flick around the corner, thought it might have come off an arm, but no call from the referee, and then a foul given for Tulsa.
Bodies everywhere.
Yeah, it's
been stop-start, no?
Yeah, it's been a little broken up, I think, by the amount of fouls going on in midfield.
So I'm curious as to how common set piece goals are in the league, because I don't think that we've seen one in any of our games.
I don't think we've scored a set piece.
I don't think we've been scored on from a set piece.
RGV.
Oh, did they?
But that was it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I take that back. RGV and New Mexico both scored set piece. But New Mexico's was off a set piece, and then it was like the second ball from the set pieces. That's a giveaway towards Tulsa. Long shot there. I think it might have been Jeff Adai in midfield for Tulsa, who takes a shot from distance and well over the bar, luckily.
Yeah, Nick
bad
Ross
giveaway
gives
from
the ball
Nick Ross.
away. Yeah, they got to sort that out quick.
Ketterer with the long distribution up towards Omar. I mean, that is the target that you want to find. He does go down, but no foul given.
Nice
Ball
pass.
in behind for DJ Dean. Easy to spot. Not only that he's number 23, but the bleach blonde mop.
He's got the Zardes hair going on.
That Zardes and like Presnel Kimpembe had a baby.
Yeah.
And it's this dude.
Yeah, he's got the he's got the ramen. He's got the ramen.
Justin Timberlake.
The ramen top. Yeah. DJ Dean does earn a corner, though. It'll be Rodrigo DaCosta over to take it for Tulsa. I think these are the situations that Locomotive need to be professional. They've done a good job of defending set pieces this year. They just, from a corner especially, it's a low corner in towards the near post, well cleared by Locomotive in the end. But, I mean, those are the situations that basically on the road Locomotive just need to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. There's no point in taking any risks or trying to be creative in those situations. Just clear it out like they just did, which is fine.
Yeah, they clear it nice and long. It is. This is kind of entering an interesting part of the game too, because it almost does feel like a few of these away games where Locomotive dominated much of the opening about 15 minutes, and now for the last about 5, and now entering about the 24th minute, things are starting to get a little dicey.
Yeah, I mean, there's just been so many instances where Tulsa have just gone right through the midfield. I don't know if this is sustainable. I want to give Nick and Chapa a chance together in midfield, but so far it's looked disjointed.
Is there, with the bench that Locomotive's rocking, is there a easy solution on the bench for Locomotive?
It depends on how many minutes you want to give Richie, I think.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Do need to manage him. But I mean, if you're on the bench, that means you're fit to play, theoretically.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see.
I don't know how the battery went this quick, but it did.
It did.
Shame on Apple.
Ball goes out of play. I think this might not even trying to shit on Tulsa, but I think this might be the worst baseball field we've played in so far.
Yeah, that grass is just dead.
Yeah, that's... Oof. At least get some paint out, guys.
At least fake it.
Yeah.
At least have the common courtesy. Yeah, so, 25 minutes gone. It's been, in terms of chances created, it's been El Paso, but the pressure the last few minutes has been more so Tulsa.
Yeah, absolutely. Oof, 2 on Chiro. I don't like to see that.
But Chiro plays out of it back to Ketterer. Ketterer with a good ball into the feet of Chapa. Chapa across to Ross. And you can start to see the shape. It's actually, strangely enough, Kiffy is kind of drifting into midfield.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of sees that Nick is struggling in that deepest role and is trying to support him a little bit more, which means that Fox will probably have to come back and we might have to just give up that outlet on the left side. But
yeah, it almost turns it into a 4-4-2
kind of, yeah,
or 4-4-1-1 in that sense. If Kiffy is dropping into midfield, it's an asymmetric kind of approach.
Right, exactly.
Contreras collecting the ball from Ketterer out on the left, does well to get past Dean, but loses out
We can't hold on to the ball right
to
now.
Manny Gonzalez in midfield. And yeah, their pressure in midfield is showing some dividends up to now.
Yeah, pretty much everyone behind the ball.
Oh, there he goes.
Kiffy reads that really well, gets dragged back, and for some reason the referee doesn't play advantage.
I don't know. It looked like he was going to. I mean, after the shirt pull, he should have.
Matt Rogers pulls him back. The only reason that you give that foul is if you're going to book. Okay.
Yeah.
It does. It does look like Rogers is getting the
was
booking
totally
for stopping a counterattack.
Yeah.
100% a bookable offense. I hoped if he was pulling it back, it was to book Rogers, and that is in the end what happened. I think he still should have let it play out, but he does. He gives a foul, books Matt Rogers for Tulsa, and that is the first yellow card of the game. Nick Ross standing over a free kick just inside Tulsa's half. A chance here, almost a chance that you think someone like Kiffy or someone would stand over in terms of delivering a ball into the box, but Nick Ross with a chance to play this here. I think they might take it short.
Yeah, because Nick's right-footed, so I feel like if you were wanting to loft it in, you might want a left-footed player in this position.
But Nick lost it to the back post, nodded down. It was Andrew Fox at the back post, but he nodded it down and out rather than back into the danger area, and it'll be a Tulsa goal kick. Kind of actually a decent idea from the set piece, just not really executed on the header there by Fox.
28th minute already.
Yeah, the first half's flying by. Locomotive.
Yeah, see that left side? That left
Under
side
pressure,
is...
Chapa wins the ball off of Rogers, who was just freshly booked. Probably would have dove back into a challenge if he had the chance, but good ball forward towards Omar, just cut out and put out for a throw. There are opportunities here, especially on the break for Locomotive to grab that goal. I mean, we talked about it. I'm fairly certain number 14 has not been booked. The graphic just showed that AJ Ajekwa has been booked for Tulsa. He's not playing, so I think
they called
he's safe.
Locomotive earlier.
I think he's safe from booking. Safe from a booking, but yeah, Locomotive. We thought Locomotive was bad enough, but turns out we had no idea how bad it could get.
Locomotive's fine. I guess we could be gender fluid, but Locomotive is just wrong. It's just incorrect.
All right, now they are showing the correct booking for Matt Rogers there, who's playing right back. Tulsa having to put the ball out for a throw again. Here, Locomotive growing back into the game and maybe just putting Tulsa under a bit of pressure.
Oh.
Seba and Nick Ross try to combine. Nick trying a little bit too fancy of a flick there, not able to pull it off.
I'm not even trying to roast
Tulsa
Nick, but that was the wrong time for that.
Tulsa on the break here, across to DJ Dean. He might have a shooting opportunity here. Rebellon does well to win it off him. Dean twisting and turning in the area, drops it off, passes it across. Altamirano, and it was probably offside on Janu Silva.
I didn't get called.
But no flag forthcoming. He looked well off, and Ketterer yelling at the linesman. But the ball in from Altamirano was pretty good. He probably should have put that in the back of the net.
Yeah, definitely. And Drew was playing it real close, stepping up right there. I don't think I would have been upset at the ref because that one was close, and I think that Becky should have maybe stayed on him instead of stepping up.
As the clock ticks across 30 minutes, the first big chance for Tulsa, and Janu Silva probably should have done better as DJ Dean there with a subtle little shove on Brian Rebellon.
Who else?
Dean, between the ramen hair and maybe a little bit is there a little bit of shit housery creeping into his game? Could he be kind of working his way into the 11?
He might. I mean, the guy's got nice feet, though. I have to say that was a nice little sequence.
Twisting and turning in the box, but Janu Silva. I mean, we talked about him as a danger man. Definitely should have scored.
Oh yeah, that's kind of a shocking miss, but.
Locomotive on the attack here. Omar with the feed from Contreras. Omar looking for the angle, chips a ball into the center, headed away by Tulsa, only as far as Nick Ross. Nick looking for options. He puts it infield to Chapa. Seba with the ball out wide to Fox. Fox with a low cross, not able to find Jerome. And the offside flag's up?
Make his run too early?
I don't know. That
looked okay.
Yeah, it looked fine. But I think the offside flag went up. That's a little strange. But okay.
Uh-oh. USL ref rant incoming.
Yeah. No, I mean, so it's funny. Chris Canales, who I think a classmate of yours.
We're in the same graduating class.
So shout out to him because he does trivia down at Whole Foods on Thursday nights.
Oh, Geeks Who Drink.
Geeks Who Drink, and he's not like in charge, but he plays. Yeah. So me and my wife go down there too, and so we ran into him, and I was like, hey. I was questioning the offside call against Nick last week. And, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't you on that side, but I was assured that it wasn't. Long ball forward here for Jerome. Can he bring it down? He does. Jerome with he nearly finished from a very difficult angle.
I'm guessing maybe it wasn't that close. The goalie didn't seem concerned about it.
I think the goalie should have been concerned.
The goalie was beat. That's actually really.
It is
a bit poor positioning. He's a little bit too tight, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is like you said. It's not. I don't think it's as close as what we thought, but it is definitely. I don't know that the keeper's getting there.
Yeah.
Even if he did hit it at the right angle.
Yeah, beats the keeper, but beats the post as well. But yeah, so I said, I was like, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't you, who called him off, and he was like, no, it was the other linesman, but he was. And I was like, yo, damn, savage, like he defended his crew, but
they're a team too.
Yeah, but I will say that. Like we said on the pod, like that was probably the best managed game in terms of refereeing that we've seen. It
was very.
I commended him and his team on just how well managed the game was. As Tulsa now getting forward right on the back of a chance for Locomotive. The cross here overhit. Rebellon puts it out a little bit unnecessarily, I think. Dean wasn't attacking it whatsoever.
So, Phil, this is kind of like what we were talking about a few minutes ago about how the left-sided players are going to come in and try to help midfield. You see that again where there's no one on the left side and too much space for Tulsa. So
no, it's a very good point. Yeah, it was they got down the left extremely easily.
MacBook chargers are so sensitive.
I don't know if that thing should be hanging.
All right, it's fine. There we go. It's good. It's good now.
Nope.
Oh, it was. Damn it.
There you go.
Oh wait, now we go. Yeah, it's fine.
No
one breathed.
Everybody just remain silent. Oh, a tough challenge in the box. Foul given. Janu Silva misses again.
Another open net goal again. Well, the other one was an open net.
Yo, we have the ledge in the chat. Charles Fenwick from Jacksonville. Charles is basically an honorary member of Seriously Loco.
Indeed, he is.
We should probably just have him on the show at this point.
Have him phone in?
Yeah. Come on sometime. That'd be great.
Yeah, Charles, we would love to have you on. We record on Tuesdays primarily, so just...
He can be like a guest.
Ooh, that'll be late for Charles.
Yeah, it will be.
True.
It will be late, but
10:30 at least.
Thanks so much for joining. He is, for those watching who don't listen regularly, Charles is a Jacksonville native and Armada fan who fills us in on all of the kind of stat stuff from Jacksonville that we don't have the context of. Here in El Paso. So
Charles, is it safe to say that you are also a Locomotive fan? Are you adopting Locomotive? Because that'd be great.
I think he's definitely a Lowry fan.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him at all for that, because it took me exactly like 2 games to be a Lowry fan. So
Lowry ball,
I don't.
gotcha.
Yeah, I don't. I would never hold that against anyone. But yeah, Charles is basically our stat guy.
Yeah,
like
he does our research.
Yeah, he's our research guy.
He's our East Coast correspondent.
Absolutely, and like
As
Omar absolutely
just destroys someone,
skinning Anthony Legendre.
Right,
he skins another chance here, and the goal in from Seba Contreras.
Let's go.
What a goal! Omar Salgado just absolutely skinning the entire Tulsa defense, and Contreras tapping in at the back post.
Lovely individual.
So glad Omar gave it to him.
And the scoreboard reading Tulsa 1, El Paso 0. It is actually El Paso that scored.
The fuckery is real.
They still haven't given the goal.
There's no way he was offsides.
No, the run is timed well. This is a goal, right? Like, don't even.
Yes. Okay. The kicking off. It is 1-0 Locomotive. That was like the most USL thing of all time. They still haven't changed.
How many straight goal involvements is that for Omar now? Whether he's scoring or assisting, it's got to be 3 or 4 at least.
Well, I guess technically.
That's only his 2nd assist, I think.
No, I think it's his fourth assist.
Oh.
But in terms of just overall goal involvements, it's been at least 3 games, right? Straight.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, because
bit of run for him.
Tacoma assist, Portland a goal.
Yep.
And obviously a goal against LA Galaxy too. So I think this is his 4th straight game with a goal involvement, either goal or assist. And Seba Contreras tapping into the far post, just right place, right time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again, late runs. I've been harping about this on the pod, and it sounds like they're finally starting to take those kinds of chances, because you can't always just rely on, being in the box and getting something. You got to run into the box and find it.
El Paso's number 10. So we've got Vic in the chat as well with a celebration. Vic, who's been in 105 with the 8th notch for these last few home games. So thanks for joining us, Vic. And then Charles back with, I'm not just a member of the Mark Lowry fan club, I'm also the president.
Oh, shit.
So hey, if you have any inquiries about joining the Mark Lowry fan club, just go ahead and direct your inquiries to Charles, because
just let me know if you need my contact at Herbalife.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what we'll get. We need to get Mark hooked up with the Herbalife, sponsorship,
That's just way too easy.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Too easy.
That was a good move from Altamirano. I've been impressed with him. Christian Altamirano there in Tulsa's midfield. He's a little bit of a firecracker. He fouls Chapa there, but
it seems like Tulsa have a lot of good individual dribblers in their side. The passing game is not great, but
not quite on
one,
par.
They've got a lot of talent there with DJ Dean and of course Altamirano, as we just saw. So
that's another Lowry ball type of goal. Not in the sense that obviously it takes Omar beating his man, but we're looking for creating those kind of easy tap-ins. Right? Like that's essentially
where you just
why
walk it in. Yeah.
It's essentially why the passing game exists. So foul here given. Yeah, that was well done by Jerome. I think it's against Hedrick, the number 4, Cyprian Hedrick for Tulsa, their captain. It is a Jerome. It's an underrated skill in the sense that Jerome Kiesewetter he uses his body to not only win the ball, but draw the fouls as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it 100% comes with experience. I think the best players on our team are some of the older players and the more experienced players too.
Sure. Fox delivers this out to Omar. Omar just absolutely giving fits to Tulsa's defense again. It took help across from Hedrick that time to stop Omar getting into the box.
Legendre is gonna have a long night.
Legendre, I mean, he's the next in a long list of fullbacks that has just been getting torched. As DJ Dean again, a little bit of a dive on the edge of the area.
Also, that's really selfish by him, because he had someone wide open on that right wing.
He had the man over,
which again,
for sure.
we're leaving that left side vacant.
He had the man over, and I don't know, DJ Dean making an early. It's still just the first half, but now we've seen a little bit of skill, a little bit of shithousery as well. So he could be the next man inducted into the 11.
He's one late tackle away.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. They've been focusing on this linesman quite a bit. Like every throw-in call, they zoom in on the linesman.
The cameraman's cousin or something.
Yeah. This Tulsa-based production team is just focusing in on the Tulsa-based refereeing crew as well.
It is just really interesting that Nick is the deepest midfielder.
Yeah.
I would rather Chapa in that position.
Agreed.
That's not a bad shout, as now a foul given against Seb. And
Like he got a little elbow up there.
is he going to be booked as well? Oh wait, it was Kiffy actually. I'm thinking he's showing a yellow for a raised elbow. I'd have to see it again, honestly. I mean,
I didn't see it.
I mean, I'll say that for the position of the foul and really the severity of it, like, unless the guy's got a broken nose or something, I'm not giving a yellow for an elbow, unless you can really tell that it's intentional.
Right. If you're endangering the opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see that. Hopefully we'll see a replay of it. But
probably not.
I will not hold my breath.
But we will see the linesman's face.
Yeah,
at some point.
We will zoom in on the linesman's face. I wanted to point out too. So 1 OK Field is the name. I'm sure it's a company name.
Yeah.
Like 1 OK. An Oklahoma-based company, I'm sure. However, I also feel like it's an incredibly memeable stadium name as well.
Oh yeah.
Like if you only score one goal, is one.
One goal is okay.
One okay.
It's okay, my friend.
Or if you only concede one, I guess.
What's
One
going
okay,
on
and
there?
now it's Jeff Adai who
But if you just
goes
look
down.
iffy for that.
Yeah, I think.
Sending good vibes to Brian. Damn.
Yeah, nothing given. We have seen too Brian abused. Pretty much every game he gets.
Well, because he's a tricky player, and
Yeah.
so I'm sure for the opposition it's frustrating, and then you just want to put a leg in, and
Yeah, it's
unfortunately,
almost not even, I almost feel like it's not even like malice most of the time. It's just like, well, what else can I do?
Yeah.
Right.
I've got to stop him.
Right.
yeah. I mean, you don't really see. I feel like you don't really see that happen too much to Omar because he's just too big.
Right.
Like if you
It's
tried,
like-
it would be you'd be worse for wear.
Right. It's like shooting Terminator. Like nothing happens. You know, it's like
And you just upset him.
it's like you may as well just not. Yeah, it is. And I mean, Charles, maybe you can help us out with this as Seb delivers this free kick to the far post, headed back in towards the center.
So-
Seb might actually get back on the end
There
of
he
this.
goes. There he goes.
He
So-
gets it down. Just looking for the easy ball. Picks that ball out to Rebellon. And it was Kiffy who worked his way out to the right, trying to play a ball back in towards Chapa, who had gotten forward. And now we're a little out of shape right now and trying to get back. I guess it's the benefit to having two left backs on the pitch at once.
I was just gonna say, it seems like the tactic on the indirect free kicks is to try and get it on the head of Andrew Fox.
Yeah.
So he has to track back so far
Right.
from those chances
Yeah.
back to left back. So
Interesting choice. But Charles, I mean, if you can provide any context, like, was Rebellon getting roughed up this much when he was at Jacksonville? That's my question. Like, is it just a USL thing? Is it just these teams that we've played that have roughed him up? Or is that just something that he's endured kind of forever because of the type of player he is? So, I mean, Charles, if you can drop that in the chat, that would be much appreciated. But Jerome fouled again. Locomotive take quickly. Ross chips it towards the back post, but too close to the keeper, Lewis, who catches easily. We're into the first of 2 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half. As we head towards halftime, I mean, what are you guys looking for? We've got the goal lead. We've seen in the past that Locomotive kind of try to shut up shop on the road. Do you think that it's just a case of maybe coming out in the first few minutes of the second half and trying to grab that dagger? Or do you think they just try to really ice things here in the second half?
I like the idea of maybe, coming out real strong for maybe like 10 minutes in the second half.
Sure.
And then, making a defensive set, maybe putting Richie back in there and then just kind of sitting back and keeping the 1-0 lead and being happy with that. That's my philosophy.
yeah, I agree with that. I think with whatever approach we take, though, midfield needs to be sorted out and quickly, because the way that we're playing is not sustainable. I mean, I think that we're the better side, but Tulsa could still make us pay.
Long ball forward, looking for Omar, and it's Hedrick again, able to get over to this one. I think that may just about do it for the first half.
See if we get a long throw in here.
Oh my God, who is that trying to mark Omar? Is that Adai?
Yeah.
Who's the left back?
So it's Legendre has been the one trying to keep up with him.
It's just not fair.
No. The referee blows for halftime. Seba across to share some words, I guess, with the referee. But referee blows for halftime. El Paso leads 1-0 in Tulsa. It was a great run from Omar Salgado and a cross to the back post for Sebastian Contreras to tap in. It's been a largely simple half to see out for the for Locomotive, without too many big problems from Tulsa, but there have been a few periods of the half where Locomotive ceded a lot of possession to Tulsa.
I agree. Like you said, there's been some times where you kind of put us on the edge of our seats and made us uncomfortable. They're knocking on the door, so just got to make sure that gets shut and quickly.
Yeah, and I think now we know that if anyone's going to give us problems, it's going to be probably Janu Silva or DJ Dean. And so the defenders just need to keep that in mind for the second half as well, because you've got the tall guy, Janu Silva, 6'3", and then, of course, DJ Dean, who can clearly, he showed that he knows how to dribble. So, we've had the better chances, but it's not like they're not threatening. So.
Yeah, it is all to play for still. Like you guys said, I think it's key that Locomotive come out and try to grab that second goal early in the second half and just kind of take Tulsa out of the game. Shout out to all you guys in the chat. Like, it's awesome being able to see the rest of you in here. Cody Bachmeyer just says Darren Hunt would be having a seizure over the state of what kickball has done to this baseball palace in Tulsa.
Baseball palace that is One Oak Field.
Yeah, so absolutely, Cody, that is well said, certainly. I'm enjoying the fact that Locomotive are able to run the roost. Is that a saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a saying, right?
I think it is.
I guess.
I don't know.
I'll take your word
If you
for
say it is, it is.
But anyways, no, I'm glad to see Locomotive able to kind of stamp their authority on a game away from home, especially when we saw what they had to deal with fielding. What was it? Fielding a grounder at second base.
That error.
that one hop, yeah.
Yeah, that was maybe an E6 on the shortstop. So yeah, absolutely, Cody. And then Charles got back to us. So he said, "No, I don't recall him being persistently fouled in Jacksonville." Talking about Rebellon.
Yep.
The way he's been this season, mind you, he was splitting starts with Becky during the season he was there. So that's a pretty interesting dynamic too, because we've obviously got Rebellon's established himself as the starting right back here, and now Becky is taking the place of Mishak more so than as a kind of depth at right back.
Right.
Situation. So it must be kind of strange, like, between the players too.
Yeah, because they're like he just said, they're used to kind of like sharing that same spot,
like
and so now to have to communicate with that person across the line must be kind of interesting. But I mean, the way that Becky plays, you can kind of tell that he's a fullback, which I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I mean in terms of his pace. I mean, it gets him out of a lot of dangerous situations, and he had a really good clearance, I think, early on. So Becky's been he fits us like a glove. He's been amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's fit right in, and he's had a good half again for us here. Charles adds back in, $64 question is whether he got fouled like this when he was with Swope Park last season. So that is that is kind of the question that leads to more context here, as we see the USL's official podcast up here at halftime has a USL El Paso scarf, like El Paso USL scarf, not a Locomotive scarf. So interesting to note.
Some new gear.
We need to update their collection. Maybe get them an eighth notch scarf, but and then
we got
Charles corrects me. It's Rule the Roost.
Rule the Roost.
Which is like a rooster thing, I think.
I guess.
Austin from Seriously Loco says in our DMs, "Who called Seba?" I remember someone on the pod said Seba would score.
I think I said it was going to be. Did I say it was going to be a penalty?
That
I think it was going to be
week before.
Oh, maybe it was. So
what did I say though for score? I think I said 2-1.
I think there was a lot of Jerome getting thrown around.
Yes,
Because obviously. Because duh. And it's kind of crazy because that's exactly the goal that you'd expect him to be on the end of.
Yeah, like just like a being in the right place in the box.
For the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to have Seba be there is obviously great. But it's not necessarily your first choice in terms of who would be on the end of that, chip cross for Omar. And then, I mean, Omar, once again, doing a lot of hard work and creating a goal for someone else rather than scoring it himself. Does that just kind of underline again, like we've talked about the last 2 podcast episodes, that he's an important player regardless of whether he's scoring or not?
He's our best winger, period.
Yeah, he's definitely found his form, and I think that the Portland goal really just relaxed him overall. Not just as far as scoring goes, but just it let him just relax and play the game, without all that pressure.
Right. Well, and it feels too like a more of, when you see Omar on the ball, he feels a lot more purposeful in these last couple matches. He seems to be kind of choosing what he wants to do with the ball better than just playing on instinct, which isn't always bad. I mean, there are some players who make at the very highest level of football who are instinctual players, but Omar seems to just be a little bit more methodical on the ball lately, and so without losing the lovely runs that he does. So really pleased for him.
BLT Gamers brings up, did you see the standings? We are in first place right now. The live standings, if we do win, we would gain 3 points with just a 2-point. We're trailing two points behind New Mexico going into this one. So with the 3 points tonight, we could be top of the West.
Are they playing today? Is New Mexico playing today?
I don't think so.
No, I think they just...
Because they do have 2 games in hand.
Oh.
So, we have 2 games in hand.
Right.
They've played 2 more than us, is what I mean to say, which is what put us in this situation in the first place. But, yeah. Did you guys see that post I retweeted from USL Pony?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Understand it though.
What does it say?
All right. So basically, what it was. Cody Bachmeyer said, I think Mark really has a tough call on Becky when Mishak's international duty is over.
I'm telling you, cheeky.
You're
3
not
at
wrong.
the back. 3 at the back, wing backs,
Becky.
Catenaccio, like total anti-Lowry ball.
It's not a bad shout though, because when you have guys like Rebillon and Kiffy to play those wing back spots,
they would be like amazing.
The system actually does make sense. I think
midfield
really,
would just be kind of tricky.
Yeah, and I think ultimately it comes down to, if you have those 3 center backs playing every single game for the rest of the year, it could become partially difficult, because at some point Chiro is going to have to rest.
Yeah.
And at some point some of these guys are going to come in for yellow card suspensions, accumulation, all that stuff. So I think ultimately it's gonna be kind of playing it game to game. But I think you're absolutely right, Cody, in that like there is going to be that moment where it's like, is Mishak like getting straight back into the team, or is he going to take a couple weeks?
Yeah.
And we'll just let Becky kind of like ease him into it. Because Mishak, obviously, great player. We talked about him. He was our best center back probably.
Yeah.
The beginning of the season, and Chiro being in there as the captain obviously kind of limits your choices, but I don't think it's absurd to say that Becky will still see serious minutes the rest of the season.
Yeah, and that's like I'm sure everyone has said, it's almost a cliche at this point. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I think it'll, as far as longevity goes, it's great. If that means that between Becky and Mishak, if one's getting if they're playing 60-30 every game, and switch them off, then that's better for us. Come postseason, knock on wood.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, and also too, I think this is something that I mentioned maybe on a previous podcast, but with the way that Brian Rebillon gets battered week in, week out, I mean, he might just need a maintenance day where Drew can slot in at right back, and we can see what he does there in his quote natural position, even though he looks like a natural at center back too.
Yeah.
So 100% a good problem to have, like Christian said.
So the USL Pony post is essentially every year he does a strength of schedule Basically what the rankings will be at the end of the season, predicted by previous results. So essentially, it starts at halfway through the season because you've played everybody, or close to everybody at least once. And so then, based on the people that you have left and their form, he kind of works out this whole formula for where everybody's going to end up at the end of the season.
Okay.
And where it is now says we will be top of the West at the end of the season based on who we've played up till now.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that having watched us against all of these teams now, we've played a great kind of variety of styles. We've played all of these teams that just counterattack, that play very physical. We've kind of gone across this whole or through this whole West, and so I just don't think it's as absurd as it might sound to kind of the national USL media. I don't want to say media even, but just the national USL kind of conversation.
Yeah.
It sounds weird to say El Paso's the best team in the West, but given the defensive record and now with Jerome Kiesewetter just banging in goals, it's not that ridiculous to suggest that they would be in the conversation for, the top 1 to 4 seeds, basically, in the West.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think we're definitely we're overlooked. Just because, I mean, I'm really active on the USL Reddit page and,
sure,
talk with other fans. And, I mean, people are constantly talking about New Mexico United, of course, with their exploits in, U.S. Open Cup and all that, and the league, of course. But, I mean, there was one comment that said, El Paso is low-key the best team in the West, and nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no one needs to talk about it. Let's just be great. And
yeah,
we'll see you in the playoffs, basically.
Exactly. They bring up the team of the week for last week. James Kiffey obviously starting. He got the nod in team of the week with his 2 assists and a clean sheet against LA Galaxy too. Kiesewetter denied his 4th straight team of the week appearance. But it was a brace by Cameron Iwasa against New Mexico that got him the nod at striker. So credit to Sac Republic for taking down the USL darlings out there in Albuquerque.
Yep. Dan from Protagonist Soccer just tweeted me because I tweeted a screenshot of us in first place right now, and I said, inject this into my veins. Dan says, fuck yeah, I've been watching this one from home, so shout out to Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you guys are interested at all in lower league soccer in the US, check out Protagonist too.
Absolutely.
I'm biased because I write for them, but
Phil has a lot of great pieces on Protagonist. Check it out, and as well as all the other writers, of course. So
but you can learn a lot about the game that goes on beneath the professional levels down there. There's so much soccer happening in the US. I mean, most of you guys watching this know that a ton of the soccer played in El Paso is in the Sunday leagues, the men's leagues that are played down on the border highway that are freaking ridiculously competitive and unreal in terms of quality. So it's just kind of learning about the fact that there's so much soccer that happens outside of the professional realm. So if you guys are interested at all in learning about that, Protagonist is such a good place to start because they do history stuff, American soccer history. They do they cover basically every league, every amateur league in the US. So no matter where you live, whatever, they probably cover a team near you. So there's just it's just a great group of normal people just covering a sport they love. So it's a pretty cool project, so definitely check it out. As we get a replay of Seba's goal, just destruction from Omar of
Everyone,
the captain.
Every single player was looking at Omar.
Yeah.
Every single player.
Yeah, it's important to note, like, Seba taps it in at the far post, but all of the credit is going to Omar on that goal.
I mean, without scoring, that's like that's like a quintessential individual effort.
Yeah. In the chat, we got the second half about to start. Do you guys need anything?
I'm all right.
All right, cool. We are underway. Tulsa gets things started. There's no changes that have been denoted, but that doesn't mean that there hasn't been a substitution.
Looks like it's darker out too. They got the lights on.
Yeah,
so.
they got the lights on. Tulsa immediately getting down the left-hand side through DJ Dean. He takes a heavy touch, and it'll be out for a goal kick. It was actually Becky out to cover that right-hand side behind Rebellon. Yeah, to you guys in the chat, Charles just mentioned, it won't be a problem. The Becky Mishak problem won't be an issue the first couple of weeks that Mishak's back from the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
But because you can rest as a giveaway here in midfield from Jeff Adai gives Locomotive possession in a good area. Ross combining with Kiffy and Fox. It does look like Fox has dropped into the left back spot. Like Kiffy is definitely occupying that more forward role out on the wing, which we kind of predicted in pregame. But anyways, that dilemma essentially doesn't become a dilemma until it's like, okay, we've given Mishak a chance to come back. Then we give Chiro a break or Brahim a break because Becky can play as a right back as well. Mm-hmm. And then that's when the issue kind of raises its head, is after we've rotated the back line and guys are back to 100% or, I've had a couple of weeks off. Right. Then it starts to get into the selection dilemma of, okay, now I have all of these guys available to pick for, I've got 5 guys for 4 spots.
Which is good. I mean, you want competition in training. You don't want to just say, okay, this is my spot. I know I'm going to play. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, again, good problem to have.
Brahim wins the ball really well there. Plays it to Chapa. Chapa opts for the simple pass back to Drew Becky. Looks for the wide pass. Sells it a little short. And it's Altamirano who comes up with it. Tulsa getting forward here. Good tracking back by Becky, but a little bit of a mix-up at the top of the box. Eventually, Kiffy came away with it, I believe. Tulsa back in possession, though. It's been a little sloppy here at the beginning of the second half. Brahim, though, making another important intervention, and Locomotive earning the free kick through Chapa. Chapa uses his body well, too. We talked about Jerome using his body to win free kicks, but Chapa does similarly in that he does position himself to win those kind of simple free kicks in the middle of the park.
Well, that's just what happens when you got that heart.
Yeah, that heart. I mean, we talked a lot. The bottom line about Chapa is that we talked a lot about how he has energy and all this stuff, and we kind of criticized other parts of his game. And then he came out last week and played just a ridiculous game in terms of how skillful he was and his range of passing, which we kind of called into question. Andrew Fox is now here, takes an early shot, saved by Lewis. Interesting move. It was basically a switch of Fox and Kiffy. We just said Fox is playing further back, and he finds himself in the box and unleashes a good left-footed shot that Lewis just gets to.
Good shot.
Yeah, that's absolutely not a bad shot at all. I mean, he does. It's a low shot to the post. He makes the keeper work, which, again, you like to see that. You don't always have to have the perfect opportunity. So, good on Foxy.
I think it's worth noting that Logan is wearing the green goalkeeper kit.
Yes.
And not the pink tonight. So, the less popular of the Locomotive goalkeeper kits, I would say. The pink I've seen around town a lot. Is the green even for sale?
Not for sale.
Yeah, interesting.
And the pink one I haven't even seen in the shop lately.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Maybe they haven't restocked
they sell it.
I know a lot. I've seen a lot of people wearing it.
Yeah.
John Wormling from the team loves the goalkeeper kit. He's in it.
My wife has it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
free kick given to Tulsa here. I'm not sure who it went against from Locomotive, but they have a chance here to deliver a ball into the box. It's DaCosta standing over it. Rodrigo DaCosta for Tulsa. Left-footed delivery into the box, headed away by Andrew Fox.
Still in there.
Oh, was that a handball?
It was a tough call. I think it goes off Chiro's face as he tried to clear that one. Locomotive still struggling to get out. They do find Seba Contreras, though. Good defensive header there from Chapa Herrera. I'm trying to get better at my pronunciation.
Just say Chapa.
Yeah. But Chapa able to get... Duke is such a pro.
Yeah.
For a white guy, that's what I'm saying. Like he's what I aspire to in terms of he's just so good at pronouncing Spanish names. And I wouldn't be self-conscious about it, except Bert just really roasted me one day over
Did he really?
over saying Herrera, and he really just let me have it.
It's not that bad. I know a lot of people who say Herrera.
No, I'm just kidding. Bert, he just gave me a little bit of a. He's like, no, that's not how you say it. It's Herrera. There's no. But I can't roll my R's. I can't roll my R's. That's my main issue.
Yeah.
So.
See.
You'll have to deal with gringo pronunciations. That's just truth in London.
You get really fucked up because in Portuguese, a single R is like a D, and then two R's is like an H.
Right. So yeah.
So
exactly.
being that I'm conversational in both, I get confused all the time. But
ball delivered in by Seba. Fox in the box again, and I'm waiting for him to score.
So we can say that.
Fox in the box. Yeah, exactly. He chips a cross in towards Jerome, but Lewis is out to claim it for Tulsa. They try to start things quickly, leaves a little bit of the ball for Seba, and the ref, rightfully doesn't call it. It was a heavy touch there from DaCosta there. Cody bringing up, guys, are we unique in the USL in terms of the number of veteran players we have, say 28 plus? Do you guys, we've seen, I think there's a decent distribution across the USL of they always kind of try to find the young guys and with a decent combination of, I don't know that we're unique, but maybe we're unique in the quality of the veterans.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. I think the only teams that are really young are those MLS 2 sides.
Yeah.
They don't typically have too many vets, but who's an older side? I think Austin Bold maybe might have a couple veterans in there, but
yeah, Bold definitely has an older squad.
Yeah.
It is an interesting balance though, and I think ultimately the reason that El Paso seems so veteran, handball given against DJ Dean there.
He wants to be in the 11.
He really wants to be in the shithouse 11. He's dying. He's been listening to Seriously Loco here for weeks.
A check mark of every law.
No, but
just late challenge.
At the end of the season, though, we're gonna have it drawn out, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I hope to do it closer to mid-season.
Okay.
To do the initial kind of, this is what we look like now. Because we've got to build a whole 11 here. Chiro challenging for a ball in the box. Lewis able to catch that one.
Lewis has had a lot to do tonight.
Yeah.
Whereas Ketterer is probably bored out of his mind.
Yeah. Cody back in the chat. 30 more years in El Paso for Phil, and you can sound as smooth as Duke. So that's well noted, and I appreciate the sympathy there. Because I'm still a El Paso newcomer relative to Duke certainly. As Tulsa getting forward here, DJ Dean back on the ball out wide. Rebellon does really well again, and basically every time he's gotten forward, Rebellon's been there to try to at least give him some problems, and more often than not, he's come away with the ball.
Agreed. I just think it's so lucky that we don't see a lot of teams that look like us as far as, having a giant forward like Omar, because Rebillon's a small guy. So if he had to, if the tables were turned, I would not want to. I would not want to be on that side.
Well, and it's worth mentioning for that reason, like we kind of take for granted the fact that Omar just absolutely destroys USL wingback or fullbacks on a regular basis, but we don't see our fullbacks get torched with any regularity, so that's why I think it's worth noting that
but I think
Omar
also
is just that good of a winger.
Yeah, 100%. But I think also just about your point about how we don't really see our fullbacks get torched too much. I think that's probably also indicative of the system, right? Everyone in this team is willing to defend.
Dean back on the ball in the box. He's past one, but he tries the spin move again. Chapa too wise for that one, and Dean maybe just complicating things for himself as Omar wins a throw for El Paso. It was Hedrick who had to come all the way over to cover that,
and then Hedrick just bounced off him.
I'm glad the ref gave the foul, because there's a lot of times where if you're a bigger guy, you don't get that foul just because the other guy is so much smaller than you, or maybe they just called.
Yeah, they just gave it a throw in.
That should have been a foul.
But Hedrick, it's crazy because Hedrick is a big dude too.
Yeah.
Like, he's not small. As this ball's played through for Omar, really good reverse ball. Oh, and the cross is just a little long. Held in by Kiffy, though. Kiffy delivers a cross of his own, headed away by Hedrick. So Hedrick is a big dude, and he just bounced off Omar as if he wasn't even... It's like...
Wow. I don't even think Omar's balance was affected at all by that.
No, he could have kept running if he could have kept the ball.
Yeah.
He would have been in on goal.
Yeah, that was as Locomotive holding on to the ball here. It's almost like we talked about with Tacoma, and a little bit about LA Galaxy. Omar's not been as involved here in the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Mm-hmm. And is it just a matter of Locomotive need to find ways to get him the ball more?
Yeah, I think they're waiting for that 70-minute hydration break again. I think we're becoming a little dependent on those.
Long shot came in from Tulsa. I don't know who took it in the end. It may have been Jeff Adai. Cody back in the chat. The footing has to be terrible for Logan. Yeah. Like, I do think there's a reason that Tulsa are attacking that side in the second half, because dealing with that infield has got to be less than ideal.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that that's even a tactic, right?
Yeah.
Just USL things.
Although I will say, like we said in the pod on Tuesday, Von Stieg. Yeah. Just, God, the most Dutch name of all time. But or German?
No, that's Dutch.
Dutch, yeah.
So if it was in Dutch, it would actually be Vom Steeg. But yeah.
Vom Steeg, yeah. Sure.
Mika is some kind of linguist?
Yeah.
A little bit. No, I have Dutch friends, actually.
Rebillon does really well to cut that ball out from Altamirano, who was threatening to play a dangerous ball through. And then it's...
Altamirano, I think.
And then it was... Omar, who tracked back. Fox loses the ball, though, and it is out for a Tulsa throw. Rebillon did really well to cut that out. I think, potentially very dangerous situation that Rebillon deals with fairly simply.
Seb with the press.
That actually brings up a good point. So the nutmeg. Does a nutmeg need to be completed for it to count?
Well, what is complete? I mean, he made the pass. I think it was the.
Does it have to either reach your player or yourself for it to count as a nutmeg? Is Locomotive now getting forward?
I think so.
I think so.
I agree. Okay. I just want to.
It's like anybody can put it through another person's legs and do nothing with it.
Just kick it out.
And then just give it away.
Yeah.
I think in that case, I think it was cut out initially by a Locomotive player, so I don't know that it counts. Long ball forward looking for DJ Dean. He's collected it out there on the left flank for Tulsa. Good tracking back, though, by Rebillon again. Puts it out for a throw. We're into the 60th minute. So just a half hour left to play. Still 1-0 to Locomotive. we are into that kind of dangerous period of the game where obviously we have the lead, but we haven't really dominated things to the point of being comfortable.
Oh yeah, I think this is the point of the game, and this, I think it happens especially when you're away, that you maybe lose a little bit of focus. And I think I am predicting that we will see a sub within the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think we've seen those hour mark subs quite often from Mark, and I think we'll see another one here. I'm interested to see who it is for sure. I think Derek Gebhard could be a good call right now, as Andrew Fox passed a couple, Jerome, and saved point blank by Sean Lewis.
Props to Lewis for that one.
What
a good save.
What a chance. Andrew Fox doing his best Omar Salgado impression.
I saw the 9. I thought it was Omar.
Wow, what a chance, but what a save.
Kiesewetter looked like he would have his customary goal. What a save on the line that was.
Nice chip cross, huh?
Yeah, it was
that technique was
great ball in from Andrew Fox and a great run to set it up.
Oh my God, did you just notice this? They've spelled Omar's name wrong on his kit.
No way.
It says Saglotto. Does it not?
No.
Turn around, Omar.
I don't believe it.
No, I swear, doesn't it? Or am I dyslexic?
Come on. Turn around.
He knows.
Turn around.
Like, I can't have my
Saglotto?
I'm pretty sure it says Saglotto.
Oh, come on. That would be horrible.
I haven't had anything to drink.
Yeah, no. Me and Christian have had drinks,
Yeah.
but that is the 10th save of the game for Sean Lewis.
He's making his money, that's for sure.
Ball in, headed away by Tulsa. It should be collected here. Kiffy with the chance to put another ball back in, headed away by Hedrick once again. He's probably leading any player for the amount of clearances. Hedrick there in the center of Tulsa's defense, the captain. Ketterer collected the long clearance out, and now Locomotive attempting to play out through Ketterer again. Good distribution out to Kiffy. Kiffy trying to get past his man, can't quite, but earns the foul. And we are inside the last half hour, and I mean, no changes forthcoming. We misspoke earlier. New Mexico does play Las Vegas tonight. Phoenix plays
to our first place.
Orange County.
Defiance leading Austin Bold.
That's a good result for the entire West, I think. If Tacoma can get points off anybody, that's basically a good result, as Kiesewetter has drifted out to the left, plays a good ball in for Kiffy.
I wish he would have gone the other way.
Kiffy can't get past Hedrick, who once again just stepping up for Tulsa here. Locomotive back on the ball, though. This has been the best period of the game these last few minutes, as now Omar called offside.
They need to show Omar's kit. I need to be sure about
vindicated.
this.
You need vindication.
Yeah, because maybe we don't need printing yet.
I'm extremely interested that Mark hasn't made a change yet.
Maybe we'll see one in maybe like the 70th minute mark or so.
Fox plays the ball into the feet of Chapa. Good little exchange here between Contreras and Ross, but Contreras is second. His through ball looking for Kiesewetter, too heavy for, and finds Sean Lewis, who's been. Cody back in the chat once again. I think he'll take Saglotto over Delgado.
True.
But Delgado's an actual real name.
Yeah, I mean it's
wrong.
It's a tough take, as Altamirano around Fox here. Well, not past Fox, but goes around him a couple of times. Chiro cuts out that clever little through ball. Good run from Altamirano. I mean, for all his kind of frustration, obviously, of not being able to really create anything of note, Altamirano's played, of the Tulsa players, I think he's the one to take notice of.
Yeah, I think both him and DJ Jean have been the ones giving Locomotive the main problems, but they haven't really been supported.
Chiro with a nice little run out of midfield, and now playing out of the back. Kiffy's gotten forward. He plays an early ball in towards the feet of Kiesewetter, and it was Hedrick once again who had to put the ball behind for a corner. It will be Locomotive's corner.
He's going to be so tired tomorrow.
Hedrick is going to be sore. He's been all over the place. He is the team captain, and he has been showing his quality in that Tulsa back line.
He is dripping in sweat. Oh, my God. He's basically been the only one doing anything in that back line, to be honest.
Credit to him. I was interested what stat they were going to show. I think clearances. He's going to be top of the lot as the corner came in, headed away by Tulsa, and it is out for a Locomotive throw. Locomotive taking their time in this one. In the new white kits, I'm still not adjusted to this. Are you guys? Are you guys like dealing with this well?
I love it. So
it is really nice.
I think it's great. It's a complete. It's the same template as the blue, just
right,
in a
with
white.
The railroad.
White and gray.
But the
rail tracks.
But the just the way the diamonds look on the white as Kiffy passed his man, opts for a simple pass back to Fox. Fox across to Ross. Ross with a chip ball in towards Kiesewetter. Just a little overhit, just slightly overhit. Good ball in. And Lewis restarts with a roll out to Hedrick, who puts it out for a throw, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, given. And the first change of the match will actually be Tulsa's. Be interesting to see who is changed. 20's coming off. So Matt Rogers, who was booked early on in the first half, is coming off. And
is this Lucas Lobo?
Still
Luca Lobo.
waiting.
I think it might be.
I think it is Luca Lobo who's coming on. Yep, that it is. It is Luca Lobo introduced. He is the top scorer for Tulsa.
Them high socks, though.
From right back. Yeah, he's got him all the way to the thighs. So basically the anti-Seba Contreras,
right,
who has the Muller style socks,
right,
just over the shin pads. Luca Lobo, on the other hand, wearing them all the way to the shorts.
Saglotto.
It is Saglotto.
That is
dang.
El Paso Locomotive.
Man.
That is absolutely tin pot.
Dang.
Come on, guys.
Loco, you gotta.
Y'all played him.
Damn, dude.
Saglotto. I knew I wasn't crazy. I
Oof, I just cannot believe that.
And he actually fucking wore it.
That's cringe.
Wow.
That's cringe, man. That's cringe.
Saglotto. This is our marquee signing.
It is Saglotto and Contreras over the free kick. I think it'll be Seba to take it.
Nice.
Rolls it into the feet. It was a good little routine they had set up there. Salgado in towards Kiesewetter, not able to find his target. The chance was there. I don't know. I think that ball in would have been onside. I think Kiesewetter was coming back from an onside position, but I think that ball would have actually been on. Cody saying I legitimately backed out of the game thinking ESPN had messed up the feeds when I looked and saw white kits.
Yeah, we thought the same. We were like, is the white balance off?
Like who is this team? Is Tulsa now getting forward? Cross in towards the center, deflected. Ketterer able to punch it away. Collected in the end.
Do we think he could have
by Lobo? I think he could have maybe cross in towards the center. Deflected away. Shot comes in. Deflected once again by Rebellon. Rebellon has been. Oh, it was Chapa actually in the box. It was not. It was not Rebellon. Chapa getting back and doing his defensive duties there to stop the shot coming in. Yeah, this initial punch from Ketterer. It's not a bad decision in the sense that you think your team.
Well, he punches it to empty space.
Right.
So
it's fine, but it was actually the play's been stopped now. Locomotive put it out, and I think it's actually Rebellon who is down. I'm not sure exactly what happened. As this shot came out to the edge of the box, still didn't see who took the shot. Maybe Altamirano actually. Or a die? Maybe it was a die. Rebellon just holding his lower back. he'll come off for the time being. But I think a hydration break's been called.
Saglano. Oh, God.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm just not over that. Like,
I don't blame you.
That's a great spot. Like, I mean, that is like.
I was looking at him like, that just doesn't look right. What does
Yeah.
that say? But
Rebellon looks set to come back on. But damn, yeah, I'll just go ahead and say it. Like the blue on the top of the shoulders looks nice, and then the sublimated kind of diamonds. I know they're on the blue kits as well, but
No,
they look sharper on the white.
Gray on. It's
Yeah.
gray, right?
Yeah, it looks alst like gray. Yeah,
Okay, go on.
yeah. I gotta give credit because
and the gray hoop socks is nice too. I
Yeah.
don't mind those at all.
yeah, absolutely. I'd go full kit in the
You
go
full kit wanker.
As Locomotive able to take this throw in because of the injury, they put the ball out to stop play for Rebellon. Tulsa back in possession though.
So 71st minute. We haven't made a change yet, right?
Yeah.
Man, Mark's letting him go the stretch, I guess.
Yeah. No, no concerns. I don't know. I really think Derek is the change. Honestly,
For
right
Ross.
now.
Or-
For either Ross or Fox, maybe.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Cross to the far post, and it was a corner's given in the end. Rebellon, I guess, adjudged to have played it off. It was.
Rebellon looked furious at Drew Becky there.
I really think Janu Silva played that last. I really thought, but the referee's given it as Rebellon playing it out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he does with his head. Just a stumbling kind of challenge. And yeah, Rebellon not pleased about the fact that he's had to track that run back. Corner comes in. It's not dealt with immediately, but Altamirano can't control the initial ball out. Seba tracking Altamirano. And then Fox just pressuring enough in the end. Fox with a good ball in to midfield.
to
We've got an
him.
opportunity here on the counter. Salgado just torching the defense again. Salgado to the far post. Kiesewetter and collected by Lewis at the far post. Really, Omar should have shot.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
I wanted him to shoot that. It's on his left foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just shoot across the keeper. That would have
That he doesn't get into that position that often. The keeper was showing the whole goal to him. He was at the near post. He was showing the entire goal to him, and I just really think if he had put his foot through that towards the far post, he may have gotten some joy out of it.
Yeah, and even if he did force the keeper out even more, Jerome would have been there for the rebound.
He went unselfish, and like it sucks because we've been praising Omar for his contributions aside from goals, but in that case you almost want him to be selfish.
Yeah, that was
It was actually, let's see, Roberts with the challenge. We haven't really called Roberts' name much because Hedrick's been doing so much of the work back
really.
there, but Roberts with the challenge on Kiesewetter. It looked a little rough at full speed, but referee doesn't give it. Locomotive back in possession, and I mean now is really the time, almost like the Galaxy game. From here on in, if you can find that second goal, that's really what Locomotive's looking for at this point. Just giving themselves that peace of mind.
I think it has been better than the Galaxy game. I don't think that we have fallen asleep as much as we did then. So I think overall this has been a better performance, a really good performance. Through all 73 minutes, really. Yeah,
I think the really important thing to remember is that we've basically faced no shots on target. As Seb passed a couple here. Seb into the area, he's brought down, and penalty given. Penalty given. Seb with the skill, and he's earned a penalty here for El Paso. He'll likely take it, if I had to guess, as now water being thrown on the field.
Yeah,
I think some fans are throwing stuff at Seb. It's a clear penalty, though.
Yeah.
I want to make
Seb
that.
just earn a penalty with a croqueta?
He.
Yeah. That's Iniesta shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Seba.
Take a bow.
Seba going full Argentinian on this one. He's pulled everything out of the arsenal.
Jerome.
earned the penalty, and it is Kiesewetter over the penalty. Interesting, because Seba took the only penalty we've been given up to this point was against
who was that again? That was at home.
RGV?
No, it was later. Oh man.
Reno?
Hey,
Republic? No.
No, it was
Jesus.
it was a 1-0 win. It was Reno.
Was it?
Oh,
Okay.
it could have been
He was the only goal that game.
Kiesewetter to take, and he scored so calm.
Over.
I thought it was too. I thought he blazed
The
over, but
absolute
what a
nerve
pen!
to go top corner for your 10th
What a pen!
as they shine his boots.
And Kiesewetter shined Seb's boots. So just love all around the team. It is 2-0 Locomotive on 75 minutes. Contreras earned the pen. Kiesewetter placed it so sweetly, but
that made me nervous.
it did look like it was going over. I thought he skied it too.
Oh my god.
I mean, you'll see how good the placement is on the replay, but it's just top corner. That's a joke. Oh my god. Even if Lewis had guessed right, which he didn't, he guessed it completely wrong.
But he can't reach that. He can't reach that.
Even if he had guessed completely right, he couldn't save it. That is an unsavable pen. And Kiesewetter puts away his 10th of the season.
The skill that this team has, a croqueta penalty,
Yeah.
and then a top corner finish.
Yep.
Are you joking? Like, guys, for our first season, we are so spoiled with the football that we're watching.
Genuinely spoiled.
Oh my god.
Altamirano showing he has skills of his own. He chips a cross in towards the penalty spot, and Becky is across to clear it behind for a corner. Altamirano, as we said, probably the most influential player hit between him and DJ Dean for Tulsa, and a little bit of skill there from number 11, and that chip cross causing a little bit of problems for Locomotive at the other end.
Yeah, it's good enough to earn Tulsa the corner, and we still have not made a change.
No, 76 minutes gone, and no substitutions. It goes to the far post. It's somehow cleared away, and I think Ketterer has just about held this in. Goal. It's actually called out for a goal kick. Tulsa have words for the linesman, who's been zoomed in on about 11 times. DJ Dean down just with some cramps, I believe, just trying to stretch out. What is this like? And it was actually a save from Ketterer. What a save that was. Reactions on 100.
I'm afraid that should get nominated for maybe Save of the Week. I'm afraid it won't because there isn't any good footage.
It might, yeah. It's like handy cam shit in there, like I'm watching Cloverfield.
Here we go. This might be some good.
Yeah, this is actually probably a good. The flicked header actually came from Hedrick, I believe. Who once again the only dude on Tulsa just contributing anything in all phases. As Locomotive able to play it out from the back now, chipped up towards Kiesewetter. I mean, he's got one. It only stands to reason that he will get another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will the orthodontist show up here in the last 12 minutes of regular time, plus whatever's added on at the end? Time will tell. Foul given, though, against Locomotive, and it looks like Seba's actually down.
So as of right now,
with a minor injury.
Jerome is tied for top scorer in the league with Kevon Frater, his counterpart to the north. But this is the insane stat to me. 89 minutes per goal.
Yeah.
Jerome Kiesewetter.
Yeah.
That's
one per game.
That's ridiculous.
That's wild.
That is ridiculous.
Especially for USL, that is a ridiculous stat, and it just bears repeating that Kiesewetter joined Locomotive 4 games into the season. That's not only has he played less games than everybody, but he legitimately had no preseason, no preparation with the team, no ability to get used to the system or anything like that. He's come straight in, and he's now joint top scorer in the USL, having played about, I think, 200 less minutes than Kevon Frater. So it's
for comparison, Kevon's at 94 minutes per goal, which is excellent too.
Still fantastic.
Excellent too. But that's what we're saying is the fact that he's beating Kevon Frater out
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
And it was Jeff Adai who was down with the injury for Tulsa. He's just getting a little bit of a water break. I don't think we've seen an actual hydration break in Tulsa. And I mean, with it being 90 plus degrees here in El Paso, I can't imagine Tulsa is much cooler.
As you see Resend in the background warming up,
Yeah.
maybe we're going to make a change.
Maybe somebody will come on for the last 10 minutes. Lowry has not indicated anything, and no change is forthcoming even with these long breaks. So El Paso up 2-0 here in Tulsa, and really well done by Chapa to win that back. Wins the ball off of Altamirano, arguably Tulsa's player of the game,
Yeah, absolutely.
at least in the offensive phase,
Yeah.
because I think at the end of this we'll say Hedrick is probably the man of the match.
For sure.
If not Lewis, who
Lewis
again has
great.
11 saves.
Yeah,
11 saves.
He's been busy for sure.
Cross in for Tulsa headed away. Oh, and Gebhardt has actually
he
come
did
on
come on.
in the
Okay.
meantime. There's been no graphic about it, no camera footage of it, but Derek Gebhardt has come on.
who's
Still waiting to see
missing?
who's come off. Kiffy's still on. I'm thinking that it
Maybe
was Fox.
Maybe Fox.
I'm
came off.
thinking Fox may have come off, but I cannot be positive. And I don't want to just say, oh, well, I mean, I called, I said, like.
It's okay. You can.
It also happened
claim
about
it.
20 minutes later than I thought it might. So as Chapa pressing Tulsa's back line here, Tulsa playing out from the back. I mean, that's why Derek's on, essentially, to provide that pressure here late in the game and provide that pace to kind of stretch their back line as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the past couple of games that Derek has come on as a sub, he's been excellent. He's brought that next dimension, and he's been able to run against tired legs. So I'm pleased with the change.
Yeah.
I think that USL's kind of lagging behind because, according to Google, there was also a second Tulsa sub that we missed, and Google has no idea that Gebhardt's on the field. There's
Right.
no notation of that sub yet. So.
Oh, yeah. No, they absolutely have.
Oh,
Because
he came on for
17.
Seb. There he goes.
'cause-
Seb's off now.
Oh, it is Seb off? Okay.
At least according
Because
to
17 came on for Tulsa, and there's no 17 in their starting 11. So someone has come on.
Yeah, it is Mom Premier.
Ah, okay. Yep. Mon Premier. Yep.
One premier. Okay.
So he's playing in that right back spot for Tulsa. Does it say who he came on for?
He came on for Legendary.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Legendary
that
was
makes
done
sense,
getting
'cause he was-
torched
yeah.
at left back by Salgado.
Rest in peace.
So Montpremier's come on to as Logan kind of takes that goal kick, kind of comes up lame, and then I think an offside or a foul's been given against Locomotive. I guess Tulsa back on the ball. Just about 8 minutes left of regular time to play, and then we'll see what's added on at the end of the half. There's been a couple of stoppages for just minor injuries here in the second half, so I think we could see maybe four minutes
max, I think.
But it will be interesting to see what the referee ends up adding on.
So this is a stat that we just need to get used to week in, week out. So far, Omar Salgado has completed the most dribbles in the match.
Yes.
With 4. I mean,
It's ridiculous.
And that's why Legendary is on the bench
Yeah.
now.
If you complete a dribble in a match,
It's a good game.
it's a good, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
for a
good.
winger, yeah.
Completing 4 is just
Well, he routinely completes 4 to 6,
Right.
like every week.
Tulsa here trying to get forward. Kiffy in with a tough challenge. I think he was going to ground already as Montpremier puts in a cross/shot towards the far post. Not troubling Logan whatsoever. Logan looks fine. He did pull
He
up a
pulled
little
up on that
lame
last clearance.
from the goal kick, but I think it may have just been, as Cody's been bringing up in the chat, just the footing. And I think he's all right. As now Derek has a chance to run at his defender. He's past his man. Plays in that cross towards Kiesewetter. Kiesewetter unable to get to the second ball, but it is a corner. It was Malin Roberts on that last-ditch defending. Hedrick over as well as per usual. Derek Gebhard showing just what a danger he can be in these late-minute kind of situations where he comes onto the field with fresh legs and just has the pace to burn. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's past one, and it is a last-ditch tackle there from Hedrick that saves Tulsa from conceding a third. Jerome Kiesewetter obviously searching for the brace because, as we know, he is the orthodontist. And the universe isn't complete till he scored 2 goals.
Oh.
Kiffy with the cross into the center. Hedrick doesn't do a good job of getting it away. And then a foul given against Locomotive here. I think it was Fox at the far post on Luca Lobo. Given as a foul against Locomotive. I think that's one of those that was a little 50-50 in terms of shirt grabbing.
Yeah.
But the foul given against Foxy, and Lewis for Tulsa going long up towards Janu Silva, whose influence so far has been limited. DJ Dean with up against Rebellon here, and a goal kick given to Locomotive. Rebellon once again
he just throws his body. He's not afraid.
Yeah. Well, and it's so impressive because we talk about him for his offensive characteristics and how good he is going forward and how tricky he is, but he's shown his quality time and time again defending from those right back situations as well.
Yeah, it's like, here's my
Derek torching dudes again. Montpremier has to fly into a tackle.
That's a card. That's a card.
It's a yellow for Montpremier, but it's one of those where he knows exactly what he's doing, and I know how the rules are written. I wish I know this is gonna sound biased.
No,
you almost
should have been a red.
But those type of tackles should be red cards.
Yeah, if he would
have
since he went to ground, like if he would have stayed on his feet and maybe just even threw a foot in there and tripped him up, that's one thing in a yellow. But when you go to ground like that, I 100% agree. I just think
that the professional foul is one thing. When there's no attempt to play the ball.
Yeah.
I think there should be a stipulation to be able to send people off for that, just to stop it from happening, essentially.
Yeah.
Nothing good will come of it except for someone getting hurt, so why not?
He flew into that challenge against Gebhard.
Yeah,
no chance of getting the ball.
The ball is completely past him. I mean, if that had been a red, I wouldn't have been surprised either. No. Especially in the area of the field that they're in, too.
Yeah. Because Gebhard's creating a chance off that, and Ross is over it. I'd like to see him as he lays it off to Omar. I kind of would have liked to see some kind of design set pieces. Omar wins it back with a sliding tackle.
He's getting yellow.
Taken quickly, Salgado shown a yellow card. I think he wins the ball.
I think it's game management here, unfortunately.
I'm interested to see the replay because it's definitely not egregious.
Oh no, he didn't.
No, I don't know.
I don't think.
What do you guys think?
I think.
Well, isn't it almost kind of behind him, which makes it dangerous?
I think the player moved
the tackle. Yeah, that's.
It was a foul.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's a foul. Yeah.
The card you can have your debate about, but stop showing
I know, stop showing it. Jesus Christ.
Just end the. Long ball forward looking for Montpremier, and he heads it out for a goal kick. Locomotive, obviously more than willing to take their time off these set pieces. Montpremier was booked like 10 minutes ago.
They're a little slow on these cards.
Chiro playing a long ball forward. Chapo with a header in midfield only finds Montpremier out there on the right. Becky heads away the long ball from Tulsa. Altamirano again, just showing his skill. Cross in towards the penalty spot. It's just about dealt with by Chiro, and then kicked clear
By Becky, yeah.
by Becky. Kiesewetter trying to chase it down, but Hedrick's onto it for Tulsa. Hedrick plays a long ball that can't find DJ Dean. We're into the 90th minute now. It is still 2-0 Locomotive lead Tulsa here as Chapa getting forward gets kind of shoved off the ball by Hedrick. And then the foul given against Chapa, but Josue Aron Gomez has come onto the field without any type of announcement.
They don't not only is there no graphic, but they don't even put the camera on it.
Yeah,
they've
the
shown
person
the damn
coming
line
onto
judge
the
20 times.
Yeah,
but
they won't even show the substitution. That's ridiculous. They haven't showed either of the subs. And now we're here just left trying to figure out who's come off. I'm thinking it's Chapa because I'm okay, I saw two.
The way he moved looked like Chapa.
Yeah,
so
it did.
I thought it was him.
Omar came off
Okay, so I saw it is 4 added minutes here for Tulsa to try to, I guess, find their way back into this one, but it is a goal kick in the end. Ketterer looking to take. Josue Aron Gomez has come on for Omar Salgado. I saw him applauding kind of to the sideline or kind of making a substitution gesture. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know if that was actually...
There we go. There's the graphic.
If that had actually happened. As this ball is played through for Jerome. Jerome's one-on-one with the keeper. He's through on goal. And he's just taken too heavy of a touch.
A little too heavy.
Oh, that was the dagger there, and it would have been the brace as well.
I think that's the 90-minute legs too.
He just takes a little too heavy of a touch past the keeper because he beats the keeper, but he beats himself as well.
Fair play. Isn't that Gomez who puts that ball through?
It was,
wow.
And that was a brilliant pass. Inch perfect.
Very good.
Inch perfect, and it looks like Richie Ryan, now as we see a substitution on camera, Richie Ryan coming on for Chapa Herrera. It sucks because that was the moment for Jerome as well. He had the penalty already. He was through on goal, beats the keeper, and then just can't.
Attaboy, Richie.
Richie straight into the challenge. I mean, not a foul, I don't think, is given. I think it's just a throw given for Tulsa here as Richie Ryan into his first action of the game. Oh, it was a foul given. Long ball chip forward there from Manny Gonzalez into the box. Hedrick on the edge of the box. They're throwing everything forward here, Tulsa, but Hedrick's ball out wide for Montpremier is well off the mark and will be a throw for Locomotive. We are into now the 3rd minute of the 4 minutes of added time. Locomotive here obviously just trying to manage these last couple of minutes with a 2-goal lead. This is, I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but this is essentially what,
another ball.
As Josue Aron Gomez plays another good ball out towards Kiesewetter. Lewis this time out for a sliding challenge outside his area. He's playing that sweeper role.
Now, man.
Aaron spamming the triangle button.
Yeah. Through balls only. He's playing he's playing just through balls. Aron, I mean, we haven't seen a ton of Josue Aron Gomez, but there is an element to his game of he's almost playing in that central midfield now. We kind of saw him as a fullback, as fullback depth, but he's playing kind of more as a central midfielder now.
And if he can pass like that, then I'm not opposed to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, my impression of him was when he came on at home. I forget.
Got a yellow card immediately.
He just charged someone. I'm like, okay.
Short corner taken. It's Kiesewetter and Gomez combining. Now it looks like
Gonna hold it on the corner.
Derek taking it to the corner, wins a throw. I thought he won the throw, but it's given Tulsa's way. We're into the last 30 seconds of the game here. The referee basically is just being asked to blow the whistle at any moment now. It looks like Locomotive will run away comfortable 2-0 winners here. Somehow a foul's been given, maybe a handball. I'm not exactly sure. But it does look like Locomotive will come away with a comfortable 2-0 win. And, I mean, is this not exactly the type of performance that Lowry's looking for on the road in terms of, being clinical in the moments that you need to, but also not allowing really any clear-cut chances for the opposition.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the second half. I don't. No, there were some chances in the second half. We had that really good save from Ketterer, but I think that this was one of those games that I've kind of been calling for. Really, we played 90 minutes of really good football. You know, there were a couple of stretches. You know, some 5-10 minute stretches where, you know, they fell asleep a little bit, but they came back from them, which is important. And it was really a full 90 of great football.
Yeah, agreed. You pretty much summed it up perfectly. I mean, like Christian said, there were some instances, and mostly in the first half, where we're getting a little bit overrun in midfield. But as far as away performances go, this is exactly what Mark is looking for. And I believe that's 9 straight in the league unbeaten, correct?
9 unbeaten, yeah.
9 unbeaten.
8th clean sheet.
Eighth clean sheet, 10th goal for Jerome Kieswetter.
Yep. Who
looked gutted sitting there that he didn't get a second one. But overall, a really great performance.
Yeah.
Only shocking performance on Locomotive side was the kit man for spelling it Saglado.
Okay.
Unacceptable.
It is a good night though for El Paso Locomotive in Tulsa. 2-0 winners. It was Omar Salgado absolutely skinning his marker and then finding Sebastian Contreras for the tap in for the opener, and then Contreras essential on the second goal as well. Yep. earning the penalty with a great skill. Jerome Kieswetter converting the penalty extremely well, putting it in a place where the keeper could not possibly get to it. It is a 2-0 victory, and like you said, 9 straight unbeaten for El Paso Locomotive. They move for the time being to the top of the Western Conference on 26 points. And this is a nice little moment for El Paso fans to kind of hold over the rest of the West.
Absolutely, especially, of course, the guys up north who've been first for much of the season. So, yeah,
screenshot
love
that
to see it
and make it my wallpaper.
Yeah, this is one of those games, too, that I just want to say is where you see the difference in quality between two teams.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's not like Tulsa wasn't out there battling, but, right. I mean, it's just those margins where, you know, man-to-man, we have the better players.
Yep.
And of course, that comes down to Mark Lowry and the way that he's built this team. And, you know, to go 9 unbeaten is huge. It's a huge achievement. Hopefully we can keep it going.
Yeah.
And on that note, the next 2 matches appear, at least according to the table, appear to be winnable, you know, versus Las Vegas, who's sitting at 14 and San Antonio sitting at 16.
Yeah.
We're in really, really good shape, you know, midway through the season.
Yeah, this is essentially where you want to be, I guess, in the in this point in the season. We're in the driver's seat. El Paso asserting itself as one of the best teams in the West, and right now with that performance against Tulsa, showing just what has brought them to this point. Clinical finishing when it's needed, and absolutely just absurd team defense in terms of limiting opponent chances. It was a great fun for us to watch, obviously, from here in Baki Studios. But wherever you guys were watching this one, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the supporter watch along. And the Seriously Loco crew will be back with a new episode later this week, and then we will be there to watch Locomotive take down Eric Winalda's Las Vegas Lights.
Correct.
At Southwest University Park next Saturday. Hope you guys will join us, and until then, stay loco, guys.